Do you know what grow zone you live in? You have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Are you a prepper? And do you garden? First thing you want to know is what grow zone you live in. Okay. Must have rained last night. This is Suburban Prepper. Good morning. Thank God it's a Friday kind of day, because it's been a hell of a week for me. I belong to several Facebook groups and some other social media groups where I monitor what people say. But I've learned how important it is to keep my mouth shut, because you can't tell someone, you can't give anyone a piece of advice, so to speak. Let's see if this person recognizes that I have the road. That's a cute big puppy. I'm getting out of my subdivision before we get really started. I was going 1,000 different ways. Anyway, and I'm beginning to rethink that a little bit, because I get tired of the misinformation that gets spread out. And I'm not correcting people anymore about stuff. Going through, they're building a commercial stuff next to what used to be a cornfield. I don't really agree with it, but it's not my problem or my choice. Like, this guy doesn't know how to stop. Fucking asshole. Guy just didn't even turn. He didn't even look at his phone. Or he didn't even get his head out. Anyway, shut up. I'll shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. I didn't realize they had all this stuff out here, though. So quickly. Developing so quickly. I just wanted to drive out here and see what was what. Just to think that this used to be all beautiful farm. And they have it all blocked off. Guess if I wanted to go steal some soil, I could. But I don't do that kind of stuff. You know, they plow up all the topsoil and they sell it. There's a pile of topsoil right there, right across from my subdivision. And this would be a prime location to forage for edibles, because I see several that just grow naturally. Oh well. They definitely have industry here. And they have a little lake right outside my subdivision. I've driven past this thing probably several thousand times, not really knowing what was here because I didn't really care. Didn't realize the extent of the growth. They have a plumbing company right outside the house subdivision. And it looks like they're going to have a little strip mall and a drive-through. Oh, fuck. Why do I know it's a drive-through? Because I got a window. Be nice if they could have a gun store or a strip club or something cool along the way. And how am I supposed to? And of course, there's a cop blocking traffic. Yeah, but you do have some speedsters that go down this road, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I just had to get my curiosity fulfilled. What's being built behind my subdivision? Mostly it looks like junk, but whatever. That would have been, it would not have been good property to build a gun range because it's so close. It's in the city. It's not inside the county or sub whatever. Well, anyway, back to what grow zone you're in. I'm in grow zone 5A. So they tell me on the map. My last frost date, believe it or not, is Memorial Day every year. For this year, I planted early before my last frost date. And my crops did fine. One mistake that I made this year as a prepper gardenist is I just planted my zucchini in the soil where I was going to grow it. It grew just as fine in the soil as it did in the little plant holder things where I wouldn't have to transplant them. But they're experiencing transplant shock. And I think after today, they'll be fine. And in a couple of weeks, I'm going to spray them with some aspirin. You get one big aspirin and you mix it with 2 gallons of water and you spray it. And it helps with the inflammation of the plant. I am guilty of not doing enough research on ginger. Ginger takes 8 to 10 months to grow. And I don't know if the climate here is hot enough for it. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited today, not only because it's Friday. I can't believe I turned into one of those guys who get excited because it's Friday. But I'm supposed to be getting my 300 Win Mag bulk carrier group back. Now understand you can't shoot a gun without the bolt in it and the firing pin that basically that's the engine of a semi-automatic rifle. I don't do good car analogies with guns. I do better car analogies with the human body, mostly. But seems like that business right there, someone's always going in and out of sale. I used to have a gym membership. It was the best hole-in-the-wall gym, okay? I mean, literally hole-in-the-wall gym. Guy that worked there was a hole in the wall kind of guy, the kind of guy you'd want to own a gym, okay? But it didn't do financially good, I guess. And then they turned it into a garage door company, and they seem to be gone now. And building something else now, they said. I don't know what they're building. Be nice if it was a gun store. Anyway, I digress. And I see piles of rocks that I'd like to steal. Why do I feel like stealing all this dirt and rock that don't belong to me? It's that kind of day. I am. I got my script. I write my script for my medical component of my videos. I got it all written out, cleaned up, and ready to go for my Saturday presentation. And I'm working on my basement downstairs, where I'm going to get a couple things out and transfer them from the basement to my backyard area. I'm going to transfer all my litters to the shed. My human body mannequins, training medical mannequins, I'm going to transfer them from my basement to my shed. And I'm going to transfer my 2 greenhouses from my basement to my shed. Because after that, I'm going to start making videos with the greenhouse. Like I say, but it's a work in progress. It's just me doing this by myself. Okay. One time I wanted to make a video about shredding the little tree snubs, and my wife thought she was recording it for me, and she turned off the record button. Like she almost did it on purpose, but I know she didn't. She just didn't pay attention to what was going on. So I have to record my own videos, and that's okay. I'll do that. But I want to definitely do a couple greenhouse gardens outside in my backyard. God forbid if the homeowners association says some shit, because it's not a permanent structure, but you can't see it anyway where it's going to go. If you ever buy into a home and you like your constitutional rights to do with whatever you want on your property, if you buy into a homeowners association, you're obligated to live by their rules. To me, they're not draconian, because you have your own home and you own it and you own the property around it, you have more leeway. But for folks that own the duplexes and stuff, they don't own the grass or the ground around their home. So they have no say about whatever. So the mowing company can go, if you have a bed of flowers growing in the soil, they can just go in there and zip it up. And there's not a damn thing you can say about it. And I guess they get the builders okay, get some type of federal something or other tax break by, which is essentially low income homes, these duplexes and stuff. So to get a tax break doing that. So don't ever buy it into a home subdivision, one that, period. And if you do, make sure there's no duplexes or like, make sure it's all just single family homes, and get a copy of what the homeowners association says. And if you're going to buy into a single or a homeowners association, you probably want to talk to the homeowners association first before you buy. I mean, that's a big ass investment, buying a home. Know who your rulers and masters are going to be, who you pay money to just to live there. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, folk, okay? Yesterday, me and my daughter went swimming after I got off work, and I hadn't gone swimming like that in 2.5 years, or 2 years almost. It's been that long since I went into heart failure in 23. And it was fun, except now I need to get goggles for my face. My eyes have never been that red in my life. And I had to go get some eye stuff. And the thing is, I had a bunch of eye stuff in my basement, packed up in my medical supply, my deep medical supply. But I didn't feel like going through it. So I went to the local store and got some Visine drops. And my eyes are still red, but I don't have a film of inflammation around them anymore. But God, I had fun. We were swimming and eating, and like try to swim across the pool only using your legs, then try to swim across the pool only using your arms. And of course, there's a competition, so that you get ready, set, that you take off. It's just having fun, having a lot of fun. And someone pulled the weeds at the pool. I was going to pull the weeds today at the same time and compost them. Somebody already pulled them. Haha, somebody got them before me because I was too slow. I should have pulled them when I was there the other day and just put them in a bag, but I didn't. Next time. Because I think they just trimmed the weeds from with a zip line. Today, I am drinking 1 cup of coffee because I slept 8 hours last night, thank God. So I'm going to try to finagle it where I can go to the gun range on Sunday. And I'm just going to take my 300 Win Mag semi-automatic rifle and zero it on paper. Saturday, I think I'm going to, or today, what the hell, I'm going to zero it, like I say, looking through the scope and looking through the barrel at a target in my backyard, only in my backyard. God forbid you do that anywhere else. But it's not a weapon if it doesn't have a bolt carrier group. And if it's just the upper, it's not a weapon. But still, I have a rifle scope or a rifle tripod that I use. It can go low, it can go high. I can shoot it standing up, I can shoot it sitting, I can shoot it sitting on the ground, or the way it can be shot. But what I was envisioning doing was getting the quad rail for my AR, where you connect 4 ARs together and you just go like that with a butterfly trigger. Or I was going to get a butterfly trigger by itself and connect it to my 308. One of my 308s now. I'm gonna have a couple of them, and I'm not gonna do that to my 300 Win Mag. I just have it shoot it like this, like back in the day on the old conventional units on the helicopters, the minigun or the guns on the back of a helicopter, where the crew chief would fire the weapons. Call it a butterfly trigger. I think I have a picture of it on my Suburbanprepper.com website. And I've decided I'm going to start doing a contest on Saturdays on my live stream. And you have to tune in. And it's going to be where you tune in, I give out the clue or the question, and then you have to answer it in the comments below during the live stream or after the live stream. And then a week later, I'm going to go back, and I found an app that I can do it with where I select one answer, a random comment selector, if you meet the criteria for it. Then I'll send you a message that you won, and I'll mail out some, whatever the prize is going to be. Hey, you didn't say hi back, lady. Jeep Gladiator didn't say hi back because she's grumpy. Grumpy. But yeah, I'm going to definitely do a live contest. I don't have any sponsors, so it's stuff that I have that I'm mailing out. And what do I have an abundance of? I have an abundance of soft copies of my journey as a combat medic. I have an abundance of field medical cards. And those both hold value. And I do talk about, anytime I do a medical video about my aid bag, I show off my field medical cards. It's good to have them available. I think every prepper should have it. It's definitely for shit hits the fan kind of stuff to document. What do you think? Should I do a live? It would not be live. It would be the week after kind of thing. I mean, I don't have sponsors with solar generators like the big prepper guys do. And I'm not generating, I'm not going to give away something that's a couple $100 that I have to mail out to somebody from a competition. I don't have that kind of money. I'm going to mail out what I have that's quality, and I have plenty of them. And I've decided I know what I'm going to do. The question I'm going to ask, it's going to be related to my medical video that I'll ask at the end of the show. And if people tune in all the way to the end of the show to the question, and then they respond to the question, those are the ones that I'll, when I do my random comment selector, I'll talk more about it on my live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on this channel. Oh, so far, nobody's cut me off except that one what were they? A decent-sized truck cut me off earlier. The guy was literally looking at his cell phone turning into traffic. I don't know. Yesterday, the guys were building some cement structure, and I think it looks just like a. I don't know if that's going to be an expansion of the road. I don't see how it could be an expansion of the sidewalk. So it's got to be a turning lane. I know why, because people complain about this lane here. Like this car has to slow down to turn. Because there's some people that just turn so fast. And now, if they complain about my eyes being red, should I just go home? Oh no, I got pink eye. It's not pink eye though. It's from the chlorine in the water. Daddy's gonna have to get a face mask. I wish I had one where I could wear my glasses and I just put a mask over my glasses and it would protect everything. And the water wouldn't seep in where the glasses go. Or if I would well, there's a problem because I wear bifocals. If the glass itself would be my prescription glasses, I could see clearly in the water. I got to do some research on that. Swimming goggles, prescribed swimming goggles. Now, when you wear bifocals, that complicates matters. You be swimming and you look up like this. You have to do when you wear bifocals now to focus. You notice I do that sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty excited. I got a lot going on. I have my garden, greenhouse frame and garden and the covering somewhere in my basement. I got to find it. It's in just a generalized area. I have to pull that out. I'm going to have to pull out the couple thousand of field medical cards that I have. And I'm not exaggerating, folks, when I say I have a couple of thousand. I got them in a contract bid from a company that sells used military gear, medical gear. I literally won a truckload of, I didn't win, I paid for it, a truckload of gear. I gave half of it away to another medical prepper down south. I just gave it away. Because I didn't have the space for all of that. Time for some coffee. So if Trump wants to deploy Marines under the Insurrection Act, he has every right to do so. And he's not deploying the Marines to track down illegal aliens, felon illegal aliens, mind you. Okay. He's using the Marines to protect federal property. I would have an issue if Trump used the Marines to track down illegal aliens. That I would take issue with. The National Guard, in my opinion, they're and I could get myself in a lot of legal trouble, but the state governor has certain rights with his National Guard, and once they get federalized, they have certain rights. But you can deputize a member of the National Guard to perform sheriff duties or police duties. I don't know that you can deputize active duty members to perform those kind of duties. Why is it, what's that? Someone made a comment, what the hell's that got to do with prepping? Well, when you're a combat veteran and you're also a retired member of active duty and National Guard, you happen to be a prepper, it's something that's concerning to you. To me, military affairs is concerning to me. I didn't just do 4 years in the branch and got out. That was a lifestyle for me. So yeah, it's concerning to me. What do you think? We may have a difference of opinion, but I'm in favor of deporting, getting rid of these illegals that are here, that are not here the right way. One, and my biggest reason is it creates a second class of citizenship. They're not even citizens. It creates a caste system, okay, which we don't supposed to have in our country. It creates a political caste system where you can underpay these people, these illegal aliens. And I'm not talking about the ones that here and do harm to others. I'm talking just regular folk here that are here illegally, just trying to get by and make a living. But the thing is, if they're not here legally, they get used and abused by employers who underpay them compared to what they pay legal citizens, and they have no job protections. And yes, that Medicaid funding is funded 50% by the feds. So, people say, well, if they go to a hospital, the feds aren't picking up any of it. Yeah, we are. And that's our tax money. You just can't go into Canada and demand medical treatment and not expect to pay for it. Or maybe you can. Hell, I don't know. But you just can't go into another country, start working, and not expect anything to happen. Try to do that in any other country. See what the hell happens to you. Doing it illegally. Do you understand? And these people don't understand. If this is the issue that is to motivate the Democrat Party, it's the wrong issue. Because Obama, who's basically a socialist, this has no bearing on if you're a socialist or a capitalist. It has every bearing to do with, one, the sovereign right of a nation to exist, number one. And the resources of that nation going to non-citizens. Now, the same thing can be said about us giving money to certain warring nations so they can go bomb other countries. I'm open to that too. Are we getting involved in Israel bombing Iran? Indirectly, we're already involved. I mean, let's not bullshit it. But or Ukraine and Russia, which I'm not a big fan of either of those states. Okay, I don't like the countries of Ukraine. I don't like the countries of Russia. They're both very corrupt. Russia is a dictatorship. Ukraine is just the highest bidder kind of country. Neither one of them would ever be a true ally in their present state to us. And yeah, I know. I'm not ignoring the fact that are we really true allies to other nations? Or we just use them for us and us use them for them? Like a frenemies. So throughout history, I've studied the brutality that the British have done across the world. And they were brutal. The redcoats, brutal. And you don't, with a culture and your people, you don't forget something like that. But the UK is now our ally, one of our stronger allies. Those days are gone, more recently with the UK, as far as them having, members of the United Kingdom no longer being in the United Kingdom. And the consequences of that. I don't like people being oppressed. I don't care if you're Muslim, Catholic, Jew, Orthodox, atheist, communist. I mean, you can believe whatever you want, okay? Now, I don't have to believe what you believe. I don't have to transcribe to your transgendered beliefs. And I don't have to think that it should be paid for by the state or the feds. But if you're a grown person, you should be anywhere in the world, you should have the right to exist. That right stops when you try to force others to believe what you believe or call you by your pronouns. And that's where your rights stop. Everyone has a right to exist. Now, believe it or not, folks, not everybody in the world has a constitution like the United States has. Although we are so used to violating our own constitution in the name of safety and security. And that's something that pisses me off. How we have the right to bear arms, but yet we restrict what arms we can bear, what we can hold. Okay? And we restrict who can bear and hold arms. Do you have to pay a $200 tax stamp to go and vote every couple of years in local and Fed elections? Do you have to pay a $200 tax stamp to go do that? You have to pay a tax to vote. And if you don't pay that tax, you can't vote. And somehow some of you liberals think in the name of safety and security that you need to do a background check before you can buy a sidearm or a long gun. Do you need to do a background check before you can vote? It's one thing to make sure that you're voting, you live where you say you live, and prove who you are to vote. Somebody honking their horn again. Do you understand the difference? And I can't explain this enough to I don't have that many liberal friends, but I do have a guy that follows me on YouTube that I don't know if he's insulting me. He doesn't like Trump, but I enjoy the diverse opinion. I'm not about blocking people. He comments about. I'm assuming it's a he. I don't know. I hope it's not an AI robot. I hope it's a real person. But anyway, comments about stuff, about one particular video that I made about California and Trump Great, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't like to block people. He's not, calls Trump a dictator. I guess so in his eyes. I don't see it like that yet. But if I saw something dictatorship-like, I'd call Trump out on it too. Like after 9/11, how Bush created the Department of Homeland Security. Notice they didn't dissolve it yet. And those homeland laws that they passed that were unconstitutional. But yet, if you get so enamored with your political party that you think it's good to, give up some of your rights, even though that's not you that's giving them up in the name of safety and security, you violate. You're a hypocrite. And back then, I was a hypocrite. And I realized the error of my ways when the Secretary of Defense at that time under Bush made a comment about the weapon systems that we have were outdated. It's not even worth mentioning the guy's name because I don't remember it. I mean, I'm a little more political suave than you'd think. So this is going to probably piss off a lot of people. But instead of me just focusing on, like I have a playlist for religion, instead of just focusing on religion, you know what I should focus on? What it really means to me is my pro-life stance. In other words, not killing children in the womb. I should probably just make some videos about that. That's my big thing. I'm very pro-life when it comes to murdering preborn babies. And then what gives you the right to decide someone who's going to live or die based on their financial, what family they were born into, or their cognitive abilities at birth, or their future cognitive abilities or disabilities? So if that person is going to be disabled from a medical condition, are you going to deprive them of their life? If that's the condition they were born with, they're not feeling sorry for themselves. It almost makes me cry. Instead of focusing on, I accept that, Christ is a Messiah, but I want to focus on pro-life issues, not just general issues. I'm not a preacher. Anyway, I get emotional about it because luckily my daughter, whom we adopted when she was born, wasn't aborted. So don't tell me I haven't walked the walk, motherfucker. I've walked the walk and I've talked the talk. I did something about it. Okay? And I'm entitled to my opinion either way. Now, we're going to talk about that for a little bit, and I don't care if I lose you or not. Oh, look, it's green. There's no cars. But thou shalt not commit murder. Old Testament. 10 Commandments. It is not thou shalt not kill. If your punishment for committing murdering somebody is giving up your life, and that's the state's determination. I don't have an issue with that. If the state determines that the crimes that you have committed are so heinous that the only way to punish you is by taking your life, and to help prevent others from seeing that and using that fear to maybe not commit murder or killing in the name of rage. Now, everybody gets rage. I got rage yesterday, but I realized my rage and I controlled it, and I pulled over and I controlled it. I don't act on it. So I think I'm going to switch my playlist up a little bit. The reason why I included the part about where the baby Jesus inside the womb and John the Baptist inside the womb met each other through their mommies, and they were gleefully laughing inside the womb, that's a very pro-life component of the Bible. Now, one, you have to believe in the New Testament or be a Christian, and two, you have to interpret that, meaning that. And I'm not a biblical scholar, but I've done some homework. That's my thing. I'm just going to focus on second or pro-life issues on my part of my channel where I do life. Is that my doctor boss? He's here early. Not early, it's almost 8 o'clock. Anyway, my doctor boss is here, the chief of all our primary care doctors. He's packed to the rim today. Out of respect, I'm not going to mention his name because he's entitled to his privacy. He's a good doctor, and he's got a good heart. That's all that matters. Anyway, this is Suburban Prepper. Check it out.